Hello, my name is Karin and welcome to my channel. I'm from Indonesia and I will sub this video in Bahasa Indonesia down here so that my fellow Indonesians can enjoy this video, and I hope you will. Stay tuned. A little bit background for you. So I am from Indonesia. I finished my bachelor degree in the University of Indonesia, majoring in communications, and in 2017 I continued my master's degree at LSE, studying gender, media, and culture. And during my application for my master's degree, I actually applied for several universities in the UK, in Denmark, as well as in Sweden. And now I'm going to read you the personal statement that got me into 5 universities in those countries. I have my laptop here, so I'm ready, and I hope you are ready too. Don't forget to prepare some notes, take your pen, your phone, your laptop, anything that you need, and let's get to the video. Before writing your personal statement or your university application letter, you really need to know the requirements given by the university and by the program that you are applying to, because usually they will have different requirements, so you cannot just copy paste someone's motivational letter or personal statement. And I cannot really give any specific advice because I don't know what program you are applying to, you who are watching right now. And the second thing is that you need to know the objective of your study, your objective, why you want to study this program, why you want to take your master's degree at this program, at this university. So let's start. I am going to read the paragraph that shows the university why I want to study this and the objective that I had. So this is the personal statement I wrote for LSE, and here I said, by pursuing a Master of Science in Gender, Media, and Culture at LSE, I wish to address the role of social media in constructing young people's gender expectations and how they affect their views on young marriage. So these objective, I actually used it for all of my essays. So before getting into the writing, I already did a long time of brainstorming to decide what it is that I actually want to pursue. Because obviously, if you are studying a topic, there's so much details into it. Like, I wanted to study gender in media, but you cannot study everything about gender in media, especially if you are pursuing a master's degree. You have to know the specific topic or issues that you want to pursue, your objective, why you want to study this program. The second thing is to define your problem statement. So when you're writing an essay, you want to show them that you've observed this field, you have been working at this field, you have been studying a little bit about this field, and you know that there's a problem that you wanted to answer, that you wanted to solve. So that's why you wanted to study the program. So what I wrote in my problem statement is that young marriage not only limits a woman's potential, it also results in long-term negative impacts on the nation. Many Indonesians fail to realize that young marriage can potentially result in maternal and infant mortality, a higher risk of cervical cancer, poverty, domestic violence, and a higher divorce rate. Various regulations and government campaigns have been implemented to prevent the practice of young marriage. But in my experience, implementation is hindered by social norms and community practices that promote young marriage. that was one paragraph explaining the problem statement and basically what motivates me into studying this program. And I don't know if all other essays also include problem statement in theirs, but I prefer to, because I think it helped me to shape my essay better, to show the universities why I want to study this, because there's this problem and that's why I need to solve this problem, and I need this degree to be able to solve that problem. Another thing that I wrote in my personal statement is my goals, my future goals, my career goals. So this is what I wrote. My career goal is to be involved in efforts to promote gender perspective values that will give a voice to women in the media. Through these efforts, I want to help women out of the biased expectations that lead them getting married early. I believe that LSE can equip me with a solid academic base in reaching that goal. So I also wrote my future goals at the end of my essay. I wrote, I plan to apply to a number of potential employers, including blah, 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 blah. These are some agencies and offices that have focus in gender equality, especially. So you should totally do that. You should totally include your future goals in your personal statement so that they know your vision and what you want to do with the knowledge that you gain from the master's degree. Another tip that I want to give you is the show don't tell strategy. I got this tip when I was doing a writing workshop some years ago before I wrote my personal statement. So it's basically to show the reader what you mean, not only by telling them. So for example, if you are a hard worker or if you are a highly efficient person, you don't just write it like that. So give them example, show them that you are that kind of person. You know what I mean? So it's showing them what you mean by giving evidence, by giving examples, not only by writing it. And this is what I did. My concern for biased gender expectations is rooted in my firsthand experience seeing women being treated unjustly in my society. As a woman, I have always wanted to help empower other women, and my journey started at ABC Company. I worked as an intern for 6 months before I was hired full-time, despite the hiring freeze in that industry at the time. Through my working experience, I learned to create messages to support a mutually beneficial relationship between the company and its stakeholders. I was also involved in the company's Women's Initiative program. It brought to my attention the importance of improving women's economic potential because their earnings boost their bargaining power at home and help delay young marriage. Through the initiative, I was able to increase my cultural sensitivity by working internationally with NGO partners and women from across the globe. As a communications advisor, I was in charge of an advertorial and fact sheet publication for the initiative, which made me realize that gender perspective messages are crucial in pushing women forward. That basically show the readers that I was passionate, I still am passionate about gender issues and why I think gender perspective messages are crucial. So I didn't just write gender perspective messages is crucial or I'm very passionate about gender but I show them why it is crucial for me, why it is important, and what I did. I gave them evidence. So that's a tip. The next one is to always relate your reasoning to the school or the program that you are applying to. I mentioned LSE several times, a lot of times actually, on my personal statement, and exactly this is what I wrote when I tried to connect it to LSE. I greatly admire the work of Dr. XX, the Director of Graduate Studies and blah 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 at a faculty in the university. Her research on the role of digital media in everyday social and personal relationships is one of the things that inspired me to analyze the role of social media in constructing young people's perceptions of gender expectations that lead to young marriage. So that's what I said. I try to connect it. I try to make a very clear and a very direct connection why this program and this university is the one for me, by giving them an example of a professor whose work I admire. Another thing that I wrote, I am not only interested in the effects of social media on the perception of gender, but also in how gender perspective concepts can impact population issues. As overpopulation is one of the impacts of young marriage, I wish to get a basic understanding of the issue by taking the Gender, Population, and Policy course at LSE. So this is the module that they provide, and I also connected with that. I basically said that, hey, you have this module, you have this course, I want to study this course because I'm sure this course can help me achieve my objective. My last tip would be to give a personal touch in your essay. And there's a lot of ways that you can do this. I always like to put a personal touch in every application I wrote, in my scholarship application, as well as in my university application. And I actually did this in the beginning, in the introduction part. So this is what I wrote. I grew up in an Indonesian patriarchal society that views domestic responsibilities as women's work. The media uses that narrative to construct the everyday perception of women through objectification and stereotyping, which is then internalized by society as an accepted social norm. I realized the significant role of the media in shaping gender expectations when the trend for families pushing young marriage started to affect my female friends. So that's my first paragraph that I used in most of my application. Definitely I used it for my LSE application, and you can hear it yourself that I was being very personal, but at the same time I related to the issue and the problem that I want to bring up so that I can justify why I really want to study this program at this university. So that was it. I read you bits of my personal statement and I gave you tips along the way, precisely what I did and how I did it in my personal statement and how I wrote it. And thankfully I got accepted to the 5 universities in Denmark, Sweden, and UK in total. And I was very grateful. I didn't know that I could get accepted into those 5 because that was the first time that I tried to apply for universities abroad. And if you have any more questions about applying to LSE or universities abroad, especially in the UK, you can write it in the comment box down below. And I haven't asked you this, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, give it a thumbs up, as well as share it to your friends. Share it to your friends who need it. seriously, you know, sharing is caring. And I will see you in my next videos. If you want to watch more videos about scholarship and university application, you can watch it on my playlist here. And that's it. Thank you. Bye.